Hi, this is Brian Fogarty, and this is a video for Chapter 9 of the book Quantitative Social Science Data with R, second edition. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look at non-parametric tests for independent samples. So these are a non-parametric version of the t-tests for independent samples, or with independent samples. So one of the issues with the t-tests that we used before is that it assumes that our dependent or outcome variable is continuous, but also assumes a student t's distribution, which is very similar to a normal distribution. And so in the real world, our data often doesn't look like that. And so we might get violations from those assumptions that cause problems with our tests. So non-parametric are ways around that, to where they don't necessarily assume a particular distribution a priori. So one of the most common ones, or sort of first use ones, whatever, is known as the Wilcoxon rank sum test. And what it's doing is it's looking at the medians, and it's also looking at the distribution of the values. So let's take a quick look at this. The function in R is wilcox.test. And then we have %_depress, and then tilde, and then urban FCT, and then our data equals SIMD. Let's highlight that and run that. Okay, so without even knowing anything, and let's get to it, we have our alternative hypothesis. This says the true location shift is not equal to 0. What in the world does that mean? So the idea is, okay, let's take a step back. So if this is the alternative hypothesis, then the null hypothesis would be that the true location shift is equal to 0. All right, so what's location shift? So it's getting at medians, but it's also it's looking at the distribution. So if you sort of superimpose the two distributions, it's looking to see how different they are. So if they're right on top of each other, then the true shift location would be equal to 0. All right. As they're further away from each other, that means that they're not likely to be equal to 0. So that is what this p-value is getting to. So we can conclude that there is a statistically significant difference between psychiatric prescription percentages between urban and rural Scottish data zones. So again, we're not getting at the means. We're not talking about there's a difference in the means. We're talking about just sort of overall, if you will. All right, so again, there's a ton of these out there. Whether or not to use them, some people don't even use t-tests because they don't trust the data fits the assumptions, and they'll only use non-parametric, and there's all these different kinds of versions of non-parametric. My general view is, use t-tests and then check with a non-parametric. If you have the same conclusion, you're probably okay. All right, that's it for this video. Again, another quick one here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.